to Wellness Wednesday, Native Wellness Institute. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nistu Nidaniko Makoyo Sakoi. I just drove from Bab, Montana, and we have inches down there, 8 to 10 inches at least in my driveway. But it's I'm here coming to you live, woohoo, from Calgary airport, because I just arrived, and so welcome to Wellness Wednesday. It's so beautiful. Well, it's 15 Fahrenheit here. So it's just like nobody's wearing shorts and nobody's jogging. I don't think they jog in Calgary, do they? They just drive around and they drive up to the door. Anyway, do you have those relatives where you're going to drive them to the door and exercise? Take them to the end of the parking lot. Make them walk. No, I'm just kidding. Sheesh, as I get to be an elder, I still, I don't run half marathons, but I still walk. Yesterday was the most beautiful, beautiful walk. I walked, going to the Sun Road, and you can go to the boat ramp, but the snow was too deep, and so I walked. And of course, you got to dress right. Don't be wearing stupid shoes, Cover up, just this part. Plus, you look better when you only see the eyes because you can be very expressive. Just kidding. So, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. It's a beautiful time of the year. And the topic today is relationship repair. Now, what did your first thought go to? Not only with humans, but relationship repair with our earth, relationship repair with our language, relationship repair with our ancestors' teachings, relationship repair with our children, relationship repair with our siblings. Yeah, the siblings is the tough one. And relationship repair with your cousins. All those kinship cousins. You got thousands of them. If you come from the Blackfoot Confederacy, you got thousands because they almost wiped us out. And those small numbers created us. If you come from the Southwest, 19 Pueblos, they tried to wipe them out. The TOs, Tohono O'odham, they tried to wipe them out. Dene Nation has 400,000. That is so cool. But there's also Northern Dene Nation up here, not too far from here. They speak the same language. That is so cool. But relationship repair, and I've been in many arenas as I'm going to, and this is just like an incredible honor. I'm being invited to Sault Ste. Marie on the Alberta side. And I'm going to be working with 11 Ojibwe nations. They have a place for their elders. And so it's a retreat. And Jolene was saying, it's a holiday in America, but it's not a holiday on the globe. Hey, God damn it. It's about time we do relationship repair. And I just said, my family is, I just got off the phone with my sister and my mom. And of course, Lou gets an organic turkey and all the trimmings, and she's picking up Mom. And so Mom can watch Dancing with the Stars because she can stream it at her place. Anyway, relationship repair. And they'll be bringing everything over to my brother's new house. And there'll be relationship repair there. Because anyway, so let's start this off, and I first want you to think about when I said relationship repair, because relationship repair is so important. If you had children with another human being, it is so important that you model mature, morally equitable behavior if you made children with another human being. And so, but if you didn't make children, it's a different kind of relationship repair. You know, if you didn't, and so let's just stay to the children. Children made by two other human beings, you know, and I remember being in therapy when my parents, the only reason they ever broke up was due to alcoholism and addiction. And my parents broke up and divorced, and then dad got sober and they got back together and they got married again. And that's that yo-yo. When you have a soulmate and you truly love each other, it's okay that you yo-yo back and forth, you yo-yo. But in relationship repair, it is just so important when you make children. Because I remember being in therapy, you know, being therapized, I mean, you know, most of, you know, my teenage life, because I was in addiction, you know. I thought I was just an Alateen and a sick codependent, but I didn't know that I would eventually develop alcoholism. I couldn't have alcohol anymore. I started in Alateen when I was 12, but I remember, and this is just the rough stuff you go through. When I was 17, I would drink, and it would just be uncontrollable drinking. I totaled 3 cars when I was 17 years old, and probably should have perished in all 3 of those accidents, but I walked away without a scratch. And that's why I know our Blackfoot Akita Piwa, no Gakimok Nakaspumak. I know they let us have relationship repair with ourselves. My ancestors saved me because I was supposed to grow up to be an old lady. And I was supposed to come to you with Wellness Wednesday on this day and talk about relationship repair. Now, in relationship repair, one of the things, and you guys know I don't suck up crying. I don't suck up emotion. My emotional IQ is when I have an emotion to share for the purpose of healing. The reason I share is for the purpose of healing. But I remember being in a counseling session, and the counselor said to me, "This is your father on the end of this bridge, and this is your mother on the end of this bridge. And as their firstborn child, this bridge you're walking on, and you have to realize that if for whatever reason these two parents don't stay together, that your behavior is to run to the parent that is not doing well." So now, understanding that in therapy, understanding that I, from a young person, saw that the drinking made my dad Jekyll and Hyde. And I would even like get in the car with him and sit in the car while he was in the bar to make sure he got home okay. All of those kind of, you know, children kind of things I would try to rescue dad. And then, you know, when the alcohol would make them fight, either physically, emotionally, spiritually, I would run to my mother to make sure she wouldn't get hurt. So if you think about that, relationship repair is often, but if you're running back and forth, and that's why a lot of times, especially during the holidays, be gentle with yourself. Think lateral kindness. Don't be trying to rescue people who are under the influence, or don't be trying to get them into treatment. They got to get their own damn selves in treatment. They got to be willing, because it's not going to work. You didn't cause it, you can't cure it, and you sure in hell can't control it. But just think about that relationship repair. And then, you know, speed up in time now, because, you know, my mother is still alive, 87 years old. And my dad is still alive, but he's in the Sandhills. He's just right near here. I was talking to him on the way up. You know, Dad, help me out. I say, Dad, help me to be more laterally kind. I'm going into Canada. I'm going into Alberta. I'm going into Treaty 7 area. And yeah, there's others trying to encroach, so knock it off, eh? This is our territory. Our territory. Anyway, but I stopped to get petrol, eh? Petrol and a little bit of gas because it's wintertime. And I'm a Babylonian, so we always top it off so you have a lot of gas just in case. So as I was getting gas, I looked around me, and that's where I prayed, because I was the only Blackfoot in the area, and everybody was Napi Koan, Napi Yaqui women, and anyway, I just started seeing them, and so then I said to myself, I'm still me, because look at me. This is how I dress. This is how I am. So today I wore my sweetgrass earrings. See these? Ooh wee, braided sweetgrass. Now someone gifted me these. I think that at the Healing the Spirit together in June in Ignacio, Colorado. And there were so many gifts and so much tears. I can't remember, but whoever gave me these, I love them. So I put them on. So they're like kryptonite. White people can't bug you. White people can't even, they look at you. And they look at you, and if they judge you, or they look at you, and they decide to be any of the isms, they think twice, because the sweetgrass, just like this sweetgrass. The reason we use sweetgrass in all our ceremonies, the reason we grow sweetgrass, the reason we braid it, just like our braids, we keep our mind. You braid your hair, mind, body, and spirit. And so with the sweetgrass, when you sit or kneel or crouch over to get it, you say the prayer. And you look for this purple, that hidden lake. Thank you, Arlen Sharp, and all those who took us all out. We all got our own sweetgrass. And our ancestors used to get their sweetgrass there when they left Marias and they headed up towards Medicine Hat. So you put your tobacco down. Now, see, this is why it's very important with all these goddamn pretend Indians and these fake-ass Indians. Real Indians, you're real Indian, and when you go out to get sweetgrass, you got to be in a good frame of mind, and you got to dress up for Ishtapatepi, your creator. When you put your tobacco down and you decide to say the prayer, you take some of the sweetgrass and you tie it off here, and you ask it with your prayers, your deepest prayers, for healing. You ask it to go to the Okan. You ask it to go to the thunder pipe ceremonies. You ask it to take it to the societies, the Mosquito Society, the Kit Fox Society, the Ganaxtimada Society, the Ixkanak Horns Societies, and then the bands. I belong to Black Door Band. I'm Scapi Picunni on my father's side, and I belong to the Lone Eaters on my mother's side. So you can ask this medicine, this sweetgrass, and if you're, and I'm just saying this as an example. I think of my friends down in Colorado. I think of my friends in Arizona. You might ask for your ancestors to be with you when you get this sweetgrass. You might ask that, and a good prayer, as they always say, is just pray that everyone has a long, healthy life. Woohoo! And then you know what happens? It happens. I was just thinking to myself, as I was driving here in War Pony, and War Pony's just running good, and War Pony has new tires, and War Pony just didn't slip once, and just acted like a horse, like a Pona Kamata, just a really good horse. So this relationship repair, when we talk, as we just, I'm going to start the dialogue here because I want you to continue this dialogue when you're sitting with your turkey, with your family, or, I have some other family that's heading over to Vancouver because they're young members defending her nursing, her PhD in nursing. Woohoo! I have another family member. Oh, Auntie Stephen is going to Egypt. He's going to be over there and be sojourning on the Red Sea, and representing the Two Spirit Society from Missoula, Montana, and from Montana. Sheesh, it's going to be their 30th annual gathering. Come in August, Flathead Lake. So you think about, so I'm mentioning them because right before I got on, yeah, it's the hotel, and yeah, there's no smoking. But you should always put your pistask on. I blessed it and asked my ancestors to come in, to let me sleep here good, to let me dream, and then to come to you live on Native Wellness Institute. So welcome to Wellness Wednesday. So this relationship repair starts with medicine. When you say that prayer, and then you delicately braid the 3 strands in and out, in and out. And I've been burning this one. And then when you tie it off at the end, that's called the belly button. A very special part of the medicine of sweetgrass. Katois, if you go to Sweetgrass Hills, you tie it off in that belly button, and then you can cut here. Or you may have cut, and you have a relationship repair with the earth. You have a relationship repair with this medicine. Just so when you dig any of the roots or you get any other medicine, you have a relationship repair. And that belly button, you tie off, and then the medicine is ready for use. So that's, I came to you, and so when I stopped to get petrol, and I saw all the other kinds of people there, I just said, let me be kind. Let me walk with a kind heart. Let me interact with a kind heart. And that evaporates any kind of tension. Even, with the white supremacists that you see with the white hood, eh? If you see them with the white hood, chop their head off. No. Just the humor. If you see someone acting and judging you, the relation, even if it's all your exes, or are you someone you made children with, send them a different kind of energy for the sake of that child. We can't hate half of the DNA that made that child. We can't betray and gossip and say bad things about the DNA that made half of your child, especially if that child looks like that person. You have to make relationship repair. And that relationship repair is to self-regulate. It's to take stock, and it's to act with lateral kindness, not lateral violence. So if you're running for council, there's an election happening. Ooh, I think this week, 65. Ooh, I was looking on Instagram. My whole Instagram was people selling themselves. Vote for me, I'll set you free. Vote for me, and I said a prayer for all of them, because it's courageous. It's a courageous act when you decided to run for band council, or you decided to run for any leadership where you're elected by your people. Because, once you're elected by your people, that's what a democracy is about. You have to represent the people and not yourself. So because we're having an election year on Scotty County, 1.5 million acres and 18,000 enrolled and 20,000 descendants with the quarter blood or less. They're going to be campaigning. So please say prayers for us. So let's talk about this, some deeper things about relationship repair. When I was asked to go to be with these elders and to come up here to, I'm going to be going to Treaty 3 area, and there might be some Treaty 6 other areas, and it's working with elders. So then I'll just say one of, I was Native Wellness Institute. Woohoo! Wellness Wednesday. If you have a chance, invest in reading this book, The Body Keeps the Score, by Bessel van der Kolk, Kolk, MD. And so this relationship repair, and often, Native Wellness Institute, we only share things that help with healing. And so our body keeps score. And, Avis Archambal, and we'll do some basic sharing right here about relationship repair. Avis was, for a time, she really wanted me to be an acupuncturist and to needle people. Woohoo! Could you just see me? Woohoo! Throwing needles, eh? Going to all the basketball games, going to the hockey games and sticking needles in people, eh? So if you see me coming with some needles, you better let me stick that needle in you. Because I'm repairing you. Anyway. But relationship repair. The body towels. And I mentioned Avis because she taught me in, tune-up where you stick the needles in the ear. It's called a tune-up. And so she's showing me the place where you stick for the lung, and you can do it with acupressure. It's really good just to take your ear if you're not feeling so well and pull it like that. It can bring you to the present here and now, and not and come out of all of your anxiety or your thoughts. But that lung relationship repair should say, if you stick the needle in there, the lung is often, and there's a little bit of blood that comes out. She says that means that person is grieving. And some of their grief might be stuck. And, I was just with my family losing, swift current and looking at some of us getting sick and having colds and children with swift current and others. Our families coming together is your body will react with your respiratory. Unresolved grief. You will have colds, COVID often, bronchitis, those kinds of things. And so think about, when you're putting that needle in. And so healing. Okay, what's the answer? Healing. I mean, it's like, what's the answer to unresolved trauma? Healing. So think about starting with just sharing. If you go to 12-step meetings, share that you're grieving over a person, place, or thing. Share that the grief, what stage you're in. Are you numb? Are you bargaining? Are you in shock? Are you in anger? Are you in acceptance? Are you in anguish? Are you in rage? Are you in forgiveness? And so that kind of, so think about that, because your body does keep score. So that's one, so I was doing a reflection. I've had the privilege of being home the past couple of days and just doing some healing, some real deep healing, because my sister-in-law were the same age, and I'm so glad she lives so near, because we share a lot in genealogy. We share a lot in gifting each other. And so relationship repair can start with gifting. Just offering a gift of listening, a gift of, with my sister-in-law, she always says, any of your shirts that, are XL. And so I've been giving her, because, Indians and conferences, I think I have 1,000 t-shirts, and they all have really good sayings. Not today, colonizer, woohoo! But I remember just like an example. I gave her, we had at Blackfeet Nation, we were trying to get everyone to do 10,000 steps all the time. And this is like 20 years ago, but it's a really good shirt with Blackfeet on it. And anyway, so I gave her my shirt and she just said, oh my God. She said, my shirt I've washed it so many times, it's thin, and here's a brand new one. I said, yeah. I said, I might have wore it once. Anyway, so gift something symbolically. When we were in Ontario, Lori and I, and I told our organizer that I like to color because I self-regulate with coloring. She gifted me this book. And this book is, by Shelley Davies. And I brought it on this trip because I'm going to be doing a lot of healing. And I might even, after we're done here, I think I'm going to color. Because it puts me in a meditative, it's like praying. But it also uses both sides of your left side and your right side of your brain. And you can just color. So if you need to, chill out. Isn't that funny? Can you see everyone at the Thanksgiving dinner and they all go to other rooms and color? Or start beading, start knitting, start drawing. Instead of just watching patriotic goddamn football, eh? Did you know that football is being scrutinized because of how they objectify all the cheerleaders? Oh man, I was hearing some rough stuff. Even Anyway, we won't go there because that's not good to objectify women, and don't be objectifying Native women because we're gonna slap you. It'll be slapping badass auntie. Are you objectifying that woman by staring at her breasts? Woo! Just slap them. Are you objectifying that woman by making her cook all the meal while you sit there? Just slap them. No. I'm just... Anyway, that's just my humor. Slapping badass auntie. So if you see me coming and you're not behaving... I remember giving those young boys at the skate park, the look like this. And they said, oh, is that your grandma? Because they were using profanity, but they stopped. Sometimes just give the look. Because all the badass aunties, Native Classics is coming up in Great Falls. All the badass aunties are looking at you, and so remember, in relationship repair, Creator is looking at you. Creator is with you all the time. It's Jabatapi, your maker, that follows you all the time. Even when you leave this physical body and go across Mokoyo Sukoi, the Milky Way, to the sandhills, the Creator is watching. And you can talk to Creator. Creator is watching. Sometimes they'll say, we might feel vulnerable when we're naked, eh? When you feel naked, people are vulnerable. At that relationship repair, when you're naked with another person, that is the most vulnerability you can ever have with another human being. So make it good. Don't make it lateral violence. Make it a good thing. And if you don't have that human being, just get a really good vibrator. Eh? Self-love, no self-care. No. Just teasing being with you today. So this relationship repair, with and I'm thinking about co-parenting. I was because people call me, people private message me, and when we're in talking circle and we got the smudge going, they ask many things, like I wanna, make amends with my sister, or I wanna make amends with my brother, or I wanna make amends with, my ex as we co-parent. And that co-parenting, because it's not only the ones who made the child, there's so many of our kinship right now who are raising their grandchildren. There's so many of our kinship right now who are raising their siblings' child. There's so many of our kinship who's raising, their cousin's child. And so that co-parenting and relationship repair, there has to be a lot of connection and communication in anything, and a connection to hearing the stories of what happened at school, hearing the stories of what happened when the shoes don't fit anymore, hearing the stories of why they got elevated from 5th grade to 7th grade math. Just hearing the stories. So storytelling can mend the relationships, sharing what happened. And then, I was just thinking, a lot of times why I can go onto, the ghetto or 600 block or the res, or I can go to deep reserve and get along. You have to connect. And, so sometimes, and this is just for, the non-native therapists, we call it white flight, on our res. As soon as it's 4:30, they clock out and they go live somewhere else. Just scared of Indians. Hey, no, I'm just teasing. Scared of Indians. But that connection, and the connection can happen with storytelling. And, just right now, one of my relatives is the voice, just in this last 3 months, his voice is changing. And that means everything physiologically is also changing. You can see it. The voice is changing, and I can see that how they're worried about how their hair looks. They're worried about what they wear. And this can happen for male, female, and LGBTQ. Your body's changing, so that relationship repair is you're not the child anymore. You're going into young adulthood. So that's that relationship repair. It's really important for us to have rites of ceremony. Have rites of ceremony. Graduating from the 8th grade, having rites of ceremony to getting, your Indian name, and that is the most important in relationship repair. If you don't have your Indian name, get it. Offer elders tobacco and say, I need a name. Or they might watch you and, you might have a coup story. You might have something where you get a name change. So this relationship repair. So relationship repair with ourself, like self repair. I just mentioning to you that early when I was like 17 or 18. Relationship repair with your younger self. So a really good, a good thing to write down, and I would just journal it, is write to your younger self what you wish you had known. Write to your younger self that you should have relied upon your gut feeling, on your instinct, and not just your hormones. Oh. Write to your younger self. And as you're writing that means you have the opportunity for moving forward with every young person, just as you were writing to your younger self, to storytell with them when they're 12, when they're 15, when they're 25 years old, when they're 35 and doing too much, only sleeping 2 hours and getting everything done and exhausted. Whew, just, I would love to talk to my younger self. Or, but there's a time, when you work 3 jobs. There's a time when you sit on all kinds of boards. And there's a time when you go and you're tired and exhausted when you're younger. But you should not, in relationship repair with your older self. If you're over 50, you need to have relationship repair so that you can live to be 100, right? Because that's like the goal. That's why we have 100 willow sweats, so we can live 100 years. Being physically okay, being spiritually okay, developing an emotional IQ, and just being kind and being good to people. I loved when I checked into this room, and it said, "Feel good." I said, "Thank you." And then I went over by the bed. It says, "Feel good." I went into all the soap in the bathroom says, "Feel good." And then everywhere it says, "Feel good." So this is relationship repair. I know it's backwards, but it's okay to feel good. So when you're doing a relationship, what makes you feel good? I was just laughing to myself because as soon as I get to Canada, I love everything that's written in French, eh? So I had to get some sparkling water because I love to see French. I had to put out everything. I brought my raw chaga because I'm taking bites off of this raw chaga because I'm really trying to be better to my body in that relationship repair. I laugh at myself because I brought all this with water to put electrolytes in it, because I'm going to be traveling and I'm going to be going, whoopee! The good news! I was Michael Gray Eyes, Michelle Thrash, Alex Rice, all those that I was in Meadowlarks with. Woohoo! The movie is across Canada. Woohoo! Across. It opens on Friday the 28th, which is in 2 more days. And even though I'm going to be leading a talking circle in Ontario, it opens in Vancouver. It opens all across the 11 treaties. It opens Sudbury. It opens in Calgary. It opens. Anyway, I just wanted to share that news with you because it's a healing film. Film in the United States. It's a healing true story about the 60s scoop. And it's about 5 siblings who come together in their 50s or try to come together, and they seek spirituality. So I have I would say a small part, but significant. I have a part where I play a 70-year-old Blackfoot elder married to an 80-year-old Cree man. And I even talk Cree in there. So don't get mad at me. I'm not turning Cree. I'm not Cree. Nistu Nasitapi, eh? Anyway, but I love my Cree people. So it opens, and it's going to be relationship repair. Why is it relationship repair? Because it's drama. It's not a documentary. It's drama, and Michael Gray Eyes made me cry. I seen it, in Toronto at TIFF. Then I saw it in Calgary at the International Film Festival, and people were crying. And when you cry, go to films that let you cathartically let things go. Cry it out and feel better so it doesn't, like, staying stuck. Those, the unresolved grief. The other, I said 4 things. The second thing is pay attention to your anger. And I was just thinking, in this film, there is such a good part because one of the siblings tries to get angry because that's been her MO with her other siblings, and they don't let her. She gets angry. She gets angry at alcohol. She gets angry at being in foster care. They all get angry about being in foster care. But her other siblings just keep hugging her, holding her. I say it doesn't need to be like that. So that anger, when your body keeps score, your gallbladder keeps score. Gallstones out early. Whew. The other feeling of loss, and I've been thinking about that because that's why I've been grieving for Swift Current, and it triggered other grief, is that in grieving, when you have loss, you have to take extra care of your heart. Extra care, if you take high blood pressure medicine or take, one of the things, eating a lot of peppermint, having peppermint smell around. That is so good. I don't see my peppermint right here, but just that because a broken heart will hurt your heart, and without healing from it, you'll have to get stents, or you'll have a heart attack, or you'll have a TIA, a mini stroke. We don't want that, right? You can prevent this stuff. So, you can get the medicines that prevent that. The fourth feeling is around fear. And fear, fear often attacks our kidneys, when your body keeps score in this relationship repair. So when you have fear, light your smudge. When you have fear, connect with the Strapatapio. Connect with your ancestors that have crossed over. Or go be with an elder and just talk about the fear that you have. Whatever the fear is. And give it to Creator to hold on to. Give it to, I always, and if it's with other people, when I don't want to worry, because the fear is worry. And so when you think about someone that you have a worry for, think about asking a Strapatapi to send all the guardian angels around that person. All the, with my adopted daughter, Amanda Oldcrow, I just send out all the prayers that she's surrounded by guardian angels. And I think she's doing good. She's been calling. She's still sober. And so I can't take care of her. I almost, that loss, that hurt, that pain as a parent, rescuing her, putting her in treatment and worrying and that kind of stuff. We have to, that's not our role. They have to be willing, and we have to connect them to the resources that can help. So there we are. So I just wanted to talk about those four things. And so in our remaining time, I want to talk about relationship repair with our siblings. Oh gosh, that is such a big one, because in our family, all our cousins, I'm beginning to, my cousins my age, some of them need extra care, and we need to take care of them. If they don't want to go into the nursing home, or that's just another healing point where we need to take care of ourselves. And we're not the doctor, and we're not the nurse, and we're not the mental health specialist. Some of our siblings, they might need to go to a place where they take care of them. We can go visit, but that's not our responsibility. But the relationship repair, I was just thinking of my one sister that lives far away. Her birthday's coming up. And I keep thinking, what should I send her? It's not about the present. And so I was saying to myself, I'm going to write her a letter. Write her a letter and just put it all out there. And that I love her. And that I care about her. And that I pray for her every day. I'm going to write her a letter. And mail it. I got some stamps in the truck. The relationship repair might to make a date with them where you go and eat and you talk about let's start over, where you talk about let's here we are in the present, going forward, about being better to each other. Relationship, because with the siblings, and I say the siblings is a tough one because you can't divorce your siblings. Sometimes you can divorce those other people, but not your siblings. So siblings, remember the time, retell the stories of when you were young and you were swimming in the Russian River together, and you would stop and get all of those hamburgers, and you would take the dog King and swim him across the river so he could get to the other side and play all day. Remember when you used to play with your siblings. So play with them today. Relationship repair is about playing together today. Relationship repair, Native Wildness Institute, we always, as we come and we call them icebreakers, and we're always playing scavenger hunt and sweep your teepee, and we're always, happy thing, make it mumble. That kind of stuff. Play together. Go for a walk together. Talk to each other. Storytell. And if they're not close by, call them. Call them up. I mean, I think, since my brother's moved home, we never could talk to him because he was like a BIA official and we couldn't call. But now I actually get to talk to my brother, and he comes and visits. I swear, when he came to visit me, I cried when he left. I said, oh, my brother's home. He's home. And he was just gathering rocks for a sweat at Tom Crawford's, and he was telling me how the land had changed, and there's fences. 20 years ago, he went to some of his favorite spots to get sweat rocks, and just go visit. So I've just been visiting my brother as often as possible. And this past week was just so great because thank you CNC Meats, because Christine they were butchering. They had a couple buffaloes, and they were cutting them up, and so she just goes in there, and she always gives this to me and my mom and Lori. They had just cut some ribeye steaks, and that gifting, relationship repair, because I had brought her. Anyway, I brought her this really cozy blanket, and I go, because Christmas is every day in my life. Nitsitapi, every day. And I go, so I'm going to put it over here because I want you to be cozy this winter, because winter lasts till May. And so she goes over, and her dad, and they just cut these ribeye steaks. And so she takes 3 of them. She said, this is for your mom, this is for Lori, and this is for you. So, I just went, whoa, and she goes, and cook them today, because they just like cut them. gift them. I swear to God, it was like, woohoo, 80, ribeye. It was just so beautiful. And we did. And I drove it to my brother's, as well as she gifted us this other buffalo meat, because we didn't get any of that anyway. We were, us elders, so she gave us some buffalo meat. And I drove it to my brother's, and my nephew had just flown in, and he can barbecue good. Ooh, he just marinated those buffalo ribeyes. He marinated them. Makes me just I can taste them. And then he went out and seared them. He barbecued them. And one of the things, I saw his trick. He took the buffalo ribeyes and he made like a tent over while he was barbecuing it. And they cooked so well because it was just juicy in the middle and kind of seared on the outside. That's a good barbecue. And so relationship repair. Bring food. Just get some food. Come on. You go over and cook for someone, or invite them over and cook up. I remember when Mom was campaigning to be on tribal council, and my daughter and I made bacon and egg sandwiches and just made, I don't know, a whole bunch of them, and went out by IGA and gave them out free. Hey, and the next year everyone was cooking, feeding everybody. But think about what you have too much of and gift it in that relationship repair. in that relationship repair, do it with food, do it with, things that make us feel good. In decoration, I was thinking about all this decoration because I've been really, I'm not a Christian, so I'll just say that. But the thing that I love about the season is Christmas lights. So I've really been into the ones that are solar propelled lights. I had the greatest gift to myself is I took these lights and I put them on the bench where my Uncle Gerald used to sit and look at the water, because I've been going down there and I talked to him. He's been gone since 2014, and now I see what he would be hunting, and he'd come and I'd cook him a steak and he would go out there and just sit for a couple of hours and look at the water. He was a combat vet in Vietnam. But it was the calmness. And so I had put the lights there, and last night it got the solar, and it was all lit up on the bench. It was like waiting for anyone to sit there and look at the water. So give someone, and early this morning, my sister Lori always liked angels that were dark, not, white angels. Like this one looks like an African American angel, but its wings turn all kinds of different colors. And I always have it on because it always reminds me to pray, because she loves these angels. And so I took it and I put it up in a more prominent place where that angel could face the east. And that angel red and it turns green. And so give someone some lights. Bring light figuratively into their life, or bring them a positive story. Uplift their heart. Uplift them in a way. That's relationship repair. Talk about the good times. Talk about what you're going to do now, and talk about the future. Talk about the things that you need. Ooh, Tasha Hubbard, the director of Meadowlarks, the message just came because she wants me to come up to Edmonton. So on November 30th, I will be in Edmonton. She said she's getting me a room. It's just those little things. Like, Tasha's the director of this film. She's just treated me like an elder. She's just been so good to me. I told her, I have to go work with these elders, but I'll fly back to Calgary. I wanted to go to the Edmonton showing. So what does she do? She gets me a room. She goes, I'll get you a room because buy someone a room. Buy them a room with the swimming pool, and they can bring all the grandchildren, and all they'll be playing in the pool. Do that kind of stuff. And I guess I have a happy heart right now. Thank you for everything that you've given me, that you've given our people. Thank you for our land. Thank you for our language. Thank you for our relatives. And the ones that kind of have stickers, thank you for them. Be good to them. Thank you, Creator. Help them. Help all of our people that are struggling with addiction. Help them, Creator. It's those kind of, that relationship repair. It's just put out the prayer. I mean, I asked Mike Duncan and Tiffany Webb. Mike said that they're going to go into ceremony and dance. So they're all the feathers, all the pomos. Thank you. And I said, can you please pray for me? Because I'm going to a place I've never been, because the elders have invited me to sit in a circle and to do a retreat and to do fun things and to heal. So what does Mike do? He says, well, pray for you. So I can just see Mike Duncan and Albert and I just see them all just praying. Cliff and his wife, I just see them all praying. And that's in the relationship repair. The God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Courage to change the things we can, but the wisdom in that relationship repair, the wisdom to know the difference of what we can't control and what we can. And one of the things that you always have in relationship repair, even, I had a Rose Abbott, Linda's mom. If someone hurt me, she said to pray for them 15 days in a row, and it'll evaporate. Pray for that person and that relationship repair. And then, if the betrayal's too deep, if it hurts too much, just don't let them hurt you again. You hear me? Don't let them hurt you again. Don't keep showing up and letting them hurt you again. Move on with your life. Move on to better things. You deserve better. Anyone that hurts you, and I'm talking to, I guess, all of you, but anyone that hurts you, you don't need to be in their presence. Remove yourself, uninsert yourself, and be better to yourself. Because that relationship repair right now, we're entering the season. I love winter. We get to, work on things. We get to assess. I love making a wood stove fire. Last night, I heard about several friends needing prayers, and I messaged, use your Facebook for relationship repair. Don't be gossiping about people. When they say I need prayers, I went over to the wood stove, and Jack Malott, I didn't know his health took a turn, but he's okay now. I put medicine on the wood stove. Every person, Mary Lee Crow, a beautiful spirit, was in a hospital in Billings. I put medicine on the wood stove. And, and so that is, when someone asks for prayers, just don't put the prayer sign. Get your damn butt up and light a smudge for them. Get the sweet grass out and pray for them. That's relationship repair. That's why, Jesus, this guy, Jesus, he sacrificed. We're celebrating his birthday. That's good. He was a holy man. Celebrate it. But remember what your ancestors have taught you, and do those prayers too. I was thinking with that new moon, it was so dark, and now the moon will start to increase, and we're really moving towards the solstice. Between now and the solstice, be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Lateral kindness with others. The words that you use to others, give them humor. I just love it if you want to send me a message with any kind of humorous thing, and try to be tasteful, not wicked. Send me some humor. Relationship repair can happen with humor. I was I think Jolene and them are hunting a buffalo right now, and I told her it's kind of chilly, and we had to get out our wool bloomers, and so she said I have wool bloomers. And don't get your bloomers tied in a knot. Anyway, your wool socks, your wool bloomers, your wool bra, your wool clothes, your wool coat. So I hope I've said something today, because Native Wellness Wednesday, we try to have dialogue to think about relationship repair. And remember, there's Epsteins everywhere. God damn them. There's native Epsteins. And our next, I think, we're gonna talk about healing from all the Epsteins. Hey, anyway, so with that, I just wanted to come to you. I always come into my room. I had to get my Bethany scarf out and start decorating. Anyway, I threw it over the lamp because they look so drab. Some of these, how they decorated. I mean, like, look at this kitchen. I mean, like, everything, there's no decoration. And then I'm looking out the window. It looks a little bit sunny. It's chilly. So I'm like, ooh, there's snow on the ground, icy. I don't want to be guinea moke. So I'm just gonna let you go today. It's welcome to Wellness Wednesday, Native Wellness Institute. We just are in. We're gonna be at Barbie's Village, December 4th, 5th, and 6th. If you want to go to our site and enroll and register. If you want to go to any of our allies, Native Dads Network is having several events. White Bison is having several events. NAFA is having several events. And I think even the American Indian Cancer Foundation is getting together for a Gona. Dr. Clayton Small is going to be there. Clayton Small. We send out a message to everybody is having a Gona, the gathering. Hey, yeah, I co-wrote Gona. And it's even now, there's so many thousands of Gonas. That's what happens when you have relationship repair. We don't have to take care of it. We just take that baton and we hand that baton of sweetgrass to the next generation. So when I baton you, pick up that curriculum and go out and help people heal. So with that, I'm just going to say Kitakito Matsuno, and I'll see you later. Kitsukako Mem. I love you very much, and I hope I said something today that will help heal your mind, body, and spirit.